it's much more than handball. Greatest experience and my greatest time I had in Kiel. I wanted to make it more as a family. The most difficult thing was to call Mads Mensa. We will always have the chance to win. Hello, my name is Nikolaj Jacobsen. I'm the national coach of the Danish handball team, and this is Handball Mastermind. The first time where I really have a look at handball was when I moved here to not to Gudme, but Ore, who's 4 or 5 kilometers from here. And actually I wanted to play football. So I was looking in the local newspaper to find a football club, and there was never anything about football. It was all handball who was written about, and I think, okay, I went to practice someday, and find out that handball was not so difficult for me. So that was the first time where I knew that handball was fun, and then I came into this club where handball is more than handball. It's a lifestyle for a lot of people in this region. I was a decent football player. I played in one big club here on Fyn, Odense, and then I was selected to the U18 national team of handball, and then I thought, okay, maybe this is something I have to do. It went more and more difficult with football, so it was first when I was 17 I took I make my choice that I will try to give handball a bigger chance. At that time it was only local guys who was playing here. Everybody knew everybody. This was my second home. So when I got off from school, I took my bike and I was here. And I was here from, let's say 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 9 p.m. So of course I was here to see every match when the first team played. And of course at some point, it was my dream to play in the first team, but then the dream got a little bit bigger, and when I was 17, I played my first match for the first team here. When you play your first team, it was a lot of nerves. I also started. It was a televised match. I started to make a double dribbling, so it was not a perfect first match. But I knew everybody in the first team because I've been running around here for 6-8 years, and everybody knows everybody here. So it was not difficult to go in the first team. I think I was one of the young annoying kids who was running around and making fun, and for me it was also easy, because I knew everybody by name, and they have seen me here for so many years. So I was like one of their own. I think this club is not just about handball. It's about a lifestyle. It's about family. A lot of families or parents who have played here, they come here with their kids, and their kids will come with their kids. So it's much more than handball. You will get the feeling when you are here. It's much different from other places. Then of course the turning point where you went from a really good Danish team also to play in Europe and get some really good national players was when Ore Idrætsefterskole came, and now it's a really big institution. I was there when they started the first year. I can honestly say there were no good handball players at that point, but it's developed to be a really big part of Danish handball now, where you can come when you are 16, 17, and you can live for 4 or 5 years almost as a professional handball player. You get the right amount of training, you get the right amount of physical training. You also learn how it is to be a professional handball player, what you have to do in an early age, so it's much more easy when you come up to the big boys in the senior team. So that's some of the main reasons. But now we attract a lot of players, and I know we say they are playing here because they are coming in a young age, but also a lot of the players now are coming from all over Denmark, and then they live here. When we won our first Danish championship back in 91-92, there were you only have 12 players on the team card. We were 11 local players, and one who came all the way from Odense, which is 40 kilometers from here. But now it's different. Now they play here as a young players and play in under 17 and under 19, but they come from different places in Denmark, and that makes it also much easier. Handball is really big in Denmark. It's difficult to explain, but I don't see any country in the world where handball is so important and so popular as it is in Denmark. Yeah, the dream about playing in the biggest league, try myself out. As I told, I've been playing almost 10 years in the best league in Denmark, and wanted to try to challenge myself with other stuff. Of course, to see how good could I be. I went to a small club, Bayer Dormagen, had a great first year and got the opportunity to go to THW Kiel. And for me, you can always discuss Barcelona with the name of the club, with all the things around. It is, of course, when you globally see the biggest handball club in the world, but to play for 10,000 spectators every time, for me, Kiel is the best club because of the spectators, how much handball, how important handball is for the city. So I'm really proud that I got to play in this amazing club for so many years. I got the opportunity to play with some of the best handballers in the world at that time, with the Swedish guys who won almost anything. So for me, of course, I'm really proud of being a part of GOG and be part of this family. But my greatest experience and my greatest time I had in Kiel. But yeah, unfortunately, my knee didn't work that long. So that of course was also the biggest disappointment for me, because I really wanted to play there for many years. But I got 6 years, and of them I'm really proud. It was quite late. I always coach. Also, when I played here in the first division, I coached some youth teams in the club, and I worked on this Idrætsefterskole for some years, where I was a handball coach. Actually, it was Ulrik Wilbæk who asked me if I wanted to team up with him, and I thought, okay, maybe it could be fun. And then the problem was that Ulrik got the national team, and then he left, so we never got to work together. But then I found out that, I see things a little bit different. I see things a little bit faster than maybe others do, and I have a really creative mind that I like to explore. And then I thought, okay, why not? Let's try to go this way and see if it's a possibility. And then I was 5 years in Bjerringbro-Silkeborg as an assistant coach, but an assistant coach with a lot to say. And then the opportunity came in Aalborg, and I won the Danish championship in my first year as a head coach. Then Nikolaj Jacobsen came, and then national team. It was mostly the first 2 years, and I can say the second year I was almost injured the whole time, so I didn't play that much. Third year I played a lot, and then it's difficult because you have to say and you have to avoid things and you have to make your decisions come true, but it's not easy to be a playing assistant coach. It's really difficult, and then I stopped, and then we got in second years, I think, in Bjerringbro Silkeborg, where we had a lot of injuries, and then I had to play for I think it was 5-6 games, but I can tell you after that my knee was there was so much water in my knee, so I couldn't play anymore. So of course the year where I played a lot, it was really difficult. Otherwise, I didn't think it was that difficult. You have to explain. This is the role, and you also as a coach, as a person, also have to be honest. I think for me, it's all about being a coach. It's about to be honest with the people you have in your surroundings. So I also was honest to say I want these things, but I also not went around and think I could manage everything, and also was honest about what was difficult for me. Some really special days, because of course I was nervous. I was told that it will never gonna work with Nikolaj, and he can only do maybe attack, or he never played defense, or everything was told before I was started there, and I really also got a really bad start. I think we lost 4 of the first 5 games, so then you got this, oh, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not that good when I have to do it alone, but then it turned, and we came in a really good stretch of the season, and I could see some of the things that we have trained on was working. We went on to winning 13 games in a row, and then you of course got the confidence that you could succeed, and we played some really good handball this year with some new style. Defense was really, we had 3 different defense constellations, so I was also proving wrong that you don't, of course it helps a lot if you have played in defense, but if you have a creative mind, you also can do a lot of damage, and I think we did that. And then I had some really good players. I had some experienced players with Christian Schelling, Howard Tweden, who had played in Aalborg. We had Johan Søstrand and Ole Ervik in goal, and we came some young players with Mads Mensa, Morten Slund. And second year was difficult because we had a really lot of injuries. Sometimes we played with 7, 8, 9 players in the league and in Champions League, but still managed to go to the finals and then lost. But I think for me, that was the hardest year of my career as a coach, because I have to change almost everything to every match, because we had so many injuries, and I played with U19 players and everything. So I learned a lot of this year, but it was a really tough year. My goal is always to win. So it was my goal to go to Rhein-Neckar Löwen to win. They have had a really difficult loss. They lost the Bundesliga with 2 goals. It hurts. I had to make some big changes in the club, how they did things. I wanted to make it more about each other, that you train, you change the training. You always train at 4 or 5 o'clock. Then if you have kids or family, you never see your children or your girlfriend. Or I wanted to change that. So I think I was the first coach who changed to training in the mornings at 10 or 11, because then you have the whole day. You could participate, you could leave your children in the school, you could pick them up, you could read a good night story. I wanted to make it more as a family. We stand up for each other, we help each other, we be like one family. But if you don't have the feeling that you are a family at home, then you can start to be a family in the club. So I wanted to change that. I think I changed the work ethic, how you train. That if you don't train well, you can't accept to play well. So we train hard. We played a lot of on 2 goals with high intensity, because you need that in the games. I think we changed that, and then of course some tactical things where I have a clear plan for what I want to do, and then of course you have to have some good players. I had a really good help with Andy Smith, which I knew for a couple of years ago, and we also have we had a really good connection together, and he could understand many of my ideas, and to also go in and explain and do the things. That also helps a lot. The main reason why we won by Nikolaj was because we had 2 or 3 amazing defenses. Of course, offense was also good, but the main ground was made in defense, because I think if you have a really good defense, then things get a lot easier in attack. You have the feeling you don't have to make goals every time, because you can rely on your defense. We never really got the chance to win Champions League. They changed the rules. They changed you have to play. So in those years it was impossible. It was impossible for German teams to win Champions League because of the preparations. It's difficult when you play Thursday at 7 o'clock in Melsungen, and then you have to play Thursday. So I don't blame the other clubs, but immediately we play all our away games at Saturday at 3 o'clock. Then you have under 48 hours and you have to travel. I'm sad that we didn't have better chances to also do a better job in the Champions League, but at that time it was almost impossible. I think in 3 years there were no German teams in Köln. It was almost 2 years where I had this double job, and it was also too much because I never got any break. And in all the 5 years I played I was in Rhein-Neckar-Löwen. We played Champions League, so you have this. And I don't say that you can't do both, and you can do it in a small time, but do it in a national team where you expect to go far and win, and you also train a club where you expect to win the German championship. You can do that, but not for long. Then it's gonna be too hard. It was only my decision. The national team had approved that I could do both, and the club wanted that I should stay. But I remember we played in Melsungen at 7 o'clock, and we came after the match in our hotel. I think we were in the hotel in Frankfurt at the airport at 11 o'clock and had something to eat. Then I went to my room and I made a video all night because I had to prepare for Skopje. And then we got up early and were going to be in the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then to Vienna, and then to Skopje, and then we had training, I think, at 5 o'clock to prepare for a really, really difficult away match. And all my players was almost sleeping on the training. Nobody could stay awake, and Yeah, we played Saturday in front of 7,000 spectators. We didn't have a chance. We couldn't resist what Skopje was coming with. And then I took my decision and said, this I don't want to work under these conditions anymore. You don't have, why should I work and get no sleep when you actually don't have a chance to win? Of course, one of my main jobs is to watch a lot of handballs. I have a lot of players who are really good, so I have to watch a lot of players to see how they develop and what I can see them bring in the team. Then I have to, maybe some are injured. I have to check up if everything is good. It's something that I can do with my team behind me. If there's something they need from us, maybe I watch some players. Maybe they don't play well in a period. Then I call them and say, hey, try to do these things. I know maybe you're in a difficult period right now, and yeah, just to be supportive. I really a lot of my time to watch the other players from other countries, because when Barcelona play Magdeburg or Veszprém play Paris or something, they are some of the best players in these teams, and I sit and watch. What can I learn? Something that Remeli does more than often are some teams have success doing something in defense that makes it difficult for him, so I can use it. So I sit and watch a lot of games, write a little bit down in my book, so I remember it. It's not easy. Of course, there are a lot of good players, but there are also players that are a little bit better than the rest of them. So I have right now a big core for players who are better than the others, and then there are a lot of players where I have to look at how can I use them, how can they come in this team. Can we use it with players like Pytlik, with players like Gisel, with players like Lauke? Where do they fit in? How can I fit them in? So that's of course difficult. And of course you have to say and call and make a call. It's difficult to call some who maybe is one of the best players in the world on his position and tell him there are two others who are better, and at this point I can use you. Of course the most difficult thing was to call Mads Mensah and say, Mads, you are not going to participate in the Olympics because of also the history we have. But I always say, that day where I take a personal decision before a professional decision, then I stop as a coach, because then I'm not fit anymore. So I always remind me that I have to do the best for the national team, not the best for me. So I always have to look objective, to look at what is the best for the team. But of course it was difficult to say to Mads, who I worked with for so many years, but that's the part of the job. I think we prepare really well. We are going to the attacks and defense really detailed, so everybody knows what they have to do. Of course, everybody gets the chance when we're training. It's not like it's always the same who's in defense. Of course, somebody is more in defense than others, but everybody gets the chance. So I think they have a security when they come in, and they know what they have to do. So it's easy. It's not easy to do the things, but it's easy to come on the floor because they know what to do, and they are really good players. So I don't think they are nervous, because they know what the plan is. They have to do it in those terms, but they also know that they have the quality, the individual's qualities to do those things. So I think that's a big part that we have a lot of confidence in ourselves, and we also have a lot of confidence in the things that we have to do, and everybody knows what they have to do. The good things about training the Danish handball team is always the moment. We always have the chance to win. We are not going to win every time because there are a lot of other good teams, but we will always have the chance to win. But of course, when you play at home, we will play in front of 15,000 spectators. I've done it in 2019. It was an amazing experience. Got a little bit of taste of it here in January before we went to Norway, and now it's all gonna end in Denmark. So the chances are really good because we have a really good team, but we also gonna get a really good support. So we also know when we play really well, the other teams have to be really, really good to beat us. It's sport. They are humans. You can have a bad day, and if you have a bad day on the wrong time, yeah, you're out, and that's sport. I will not go into the tournament and say, okay, if we not winning here in 2 months, we're never gonna win, because that's not true. Then there will be 28. In 28, Denmark will have a really, really good chance to win also there. I don't have to say anything because they know what they have to do, and it's an amazing atmosphere there every time we play there. And I think we also go in with another mindset, because I always have this. You get the chance to play on a home ground. It's not many handball players in Denmark, especially on the men's side, who got this opportunity. So go in, have fun. And enjoy that you're getting this life experience, instead of going in and thinking you have to do these things or you have to win. Go in and with the mindset that you are really lucky that you got to experience to playing for 15,000 in your home country, and enjoy that. Our sport is unfortunately not the biggest sport, so we have tried also to have less games and less World Championship and less European Championship, and there were almost never spectators. There was no sponsors who wanted to go in, so we also have to see it like this. If we don't have a European Championship every second year, don't have a World Championship, I'm really concerned if handball can survive that. So the players also have to think that this is a necessary for our sport to survive. I don't understand it, but at some point football is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and if I gonna choose, I will always choose a handball game to watch, because it's much more fun, much more action. You as a coach have a lot of possibilities to change the game, how it's going. So we have to do those things. There are also the part where the club's economy are getting better or more secure, at least. It's also because the Champions League is getting more popular. There are more games where you see a lot of spectators. So it's really difficult to manage it, because you can go and play less games. You can do that, but then the interest will drop, and the economy will drop. So yeah, I hope the guys who are sitting at this side of the table and the players and who are sitting on this side of the table can find. I hope that also they maybe my feeling is more about listening to each other. I think we managed it really well. I think one of the best decisions I have taken was in 23, where we could see it's not going to work for a long period, was to take Niklas Kirkeløkke and make him the right wing and make the hard work in defense, so Mathias could get some rest and also do the things that he does best, to take the counter attack, to make a difference in attack. It's not because Mathias is not a bad defender. He can defend, but in a period of 18 days where you play 9 games, it's difficult. We do the same on the other side. We are that lucky that we have a player like Magnus Landin, who can defend really well and also one of the best left wings in the world. So we also can do the same with Pytlik. In a European Championship or World Championships, you get more tired, not necessary of the games, but because we play late hours, you don't get a good sleep. Handball is more complicated than football, so I can have a lot bigger impact as Luis Enrique can, because I can tell Mathias, now you have to go 2 meters this way and then we can make a goal. I'm also giving him the free spaces so he can do what he can do best. And then it's my job to say, hey, now you are coming too far on this side, it's going to be too difficult, then you can do your things. It's my job to show him or other players that I know what he can, and put him in these situations and show him that my coach putting me in good situations where I can do my job. And then, of course, we have this relation that, of course, he is a really important player, like Pytlik is. So, of course, you talk with them about, okay, if we do it like this, how do you want? Do you want the ball from here, or do you want to take it yourself? Or if this cross coming, at what time, or what timing do you want to have it? Should they pass the ball earlier or something like that? Of course, we also go through all those small details. And then it's for me, it's important as a person to show my players that they have a coach who care, and that I always will have their back. And that doesn't matter how things goes, I will always stand behind them and help them. I hope when I'm finished, they have seen a coach who was a really good coach to his players. For me, it's more important that my players say, I had a really good coach in Nikolaj. He treated me well, he treated me with respect. He was angry at sometimes, he was funny at sometimes. I think I see myself as a creative coach that have a good plan, but can change that plan, can change the game when in my favor. That my defense also was really good. I think that no matter where I've been, it was in Silkeborg, in Aalborg, in Rhein-Neckar Löwen, or here in Denmark, my teams always had a really good defensive plan and to work from. I don't think the game is more physical now, because of course the guys are getting stronger, but when I was playing in the 90s and later, it was physical and it was not a pretty game. Now it's much fairer. Of course, the speed now, the tempo, the players you have developed. In my career, it was Perunisic, it was Staffan Olsson, it was Chepkin on the line. It was big players had a lot of power to shoot. Of course, there also was smaller, really good players as Lubomir Vranjes, Magnus Andersson, Dutjabayev, and all those great players, Jackson Richardson. But now it's the attack who are in focus. You see how can I make goals? So when I look at the players who are coming in Denmark now, there are not many good defended players. You can't have a big, slow player to defend anymore in the middle, because all the back players now are 185 or 190, but all really fast and can shoot. But so you have to also change the mind how you gonna defend, and maybe you have to find some other players. So you have to change. I think we also have to change how we develop the next defense player to also really maybe have the same size. Maybe we will see players who are 2 meters and 2 meters and 5 that can do the same things, and then you have to change again. And that's the really good part by handball, is that it always takes you to new things, because there are coming new exciting players who will take the game other